warning before you listen. This epic is not for children, nor for the faint of heart. We retell the ancient Greek myths as they were born, unfiltered, unsoftened. Scenes of violence, curses, betrayals, and a hunger for power that shows no mercy. Given the many conflicting versions of the Titan War, the events have been rebuilt to complete the missing pieces. Here, we tell the myth as it was meant to be told. Sources and references are listed in the episode description.
Chapter 94. Captives beneath the thunder, when armies are marched into shame. Those who once painted destruction now march in line toward the pit. This wasn't the return of victory. It was the procession of a new order, marching over the ruins of those who just moments ago were masters of the world. In the sky, a swarm moved, not like birds, but prisoners, herded beneath clouds too ashamed to weep. On land, bodies walked with no shadows, as if unworthy to be called soldiers anymore. In the sea, the waves were calm, but they spat onto the shore every traitor who had once dared to command them. Then came Zeus. At his front walked Hyperion, but he did not lead, he was led. He who once walked as a sun, whose light had once blinded the heavens, was now reduced to ash drifting in the wind, without purpose. His flaming hair had become a tangled mess of scorched threads, and his chest, no longer the cradle of fire, only a hollow vessel for shame. From the waves stood Poseidon, towering, and beneath him Perses and Thaumas. Perses, once the heir of raw devastation, the sea's unbreakable spear, now dragged his feet, his trident shackled between his hands, as if the sea itself had broken its oath to him. And Thaumas, once the ocean's sorcerer of terror, now trembled at the sound of blood-soaked sandals squelching beneath him, stripped of his magic, armed only with a fading memory, soon to burn in the abyss. Hades did not walk. He ushered the earth's wounds with reverence. And before him, Coeus and Erebus. Coeus, once a moving mountain, was now a bound boulder dragged like a walking accusation. And Erebus, he didn't appear, only his shadow. But even the shadow was shackled now, stuffed into the light of chains, writhing like it was choking on being seen for the first time. The air was heavy. All across Mount Olympus they stood, Metis, the sisters, the warriors, and the giants who once tasted humiliation. They clapped, not out of joy, but because for the first time they saw justice walking, and time itself bound at the wrists. Demeter whispered, her eyes disbelieving, These are the ones we once feared to even name?" Hestia, her hand gripping a chain pushed toward Tartarus, answered, "Titans do not die. But today, we teach them how to be humiliated." Zeus raised his hand, just a gesture, and the legions of giants stepped forward. Their chains were not forged of iron, but of a past nailed into permanence. Poseidon turned and said, "We won't kill them. Let them live, to tell the underworld that the masters have changed." Hades laughed, once, then turned to Erebus. "See, this isn't the end of the world, it's the beginning, without you." And so, the great titans were dragged, one after another, as if they were symbols stripped of their names. And in the heart of the mountain, a gate cracked open, sealed by dread since the first age. They entered. None of them looked back. They passed through a corridor, black, unseen by any but those on Olympus. The clouds and giants returned, carrying the chains behind them, and silence devoured the air, as regret disappears into the pit of time. The prisoners, no longer gods, but a herd of fallen divinities, marched into a prison that does not record names, but swallows them. Thus, the war didn't end. A chapter was closed, and the prophecy began to whisper its true name. At last, Olympus became something else.
a place that could strike fear into those who had never known what fear was. This chapter of the epic has come to an end, but remember, what you've just heard is not a record of facts, but the echo of a myth, a story born from the imagination of the ancients, etched into the long memory of humankind. If this tale stirred something in you, if it opened a door to reflection or wonder, don't forget to support the channel and share the journey with those you love. And in the comments, tell us which moment in this chapter struck you the most and why. We'll meet again in the next chapter of this audio odyssey through time. Until then, farewell.